Today's video is about cost per mile, CPM. Why do you care about CPM? If you're new, you might not know. I'd say 95% of you new drivers out there don't know your cost per mile. It took me a little bit to learn what that meant and what that was about when I first started. And it's really the key ingredient in trucking, right? You have to know this. This should be like, before you can even get an authority, you should learn what a CPM is, otherwise known as cost per mile. So cost per mile is the rate you must have in order to break even for your company. Let's say my rate is $1.50. That's like break even. If I was to run every day, that's my break even point. Let's go into how to find your cost per mile. Okay, now I do have a Google spreadsheet here. Let me pull it up. Here is like the meat and potatoes of how to break down a load. You would enter in your rate con. Now let's say you have a rate con for $1,000 load, just to make numbers simple. Now let's say it's for 500 miles. That's $2 a mile right on the rate con. How much do you pay for a gallon of fuel? You have to factor in your fuel costs, right? Now I've been averaging around $3.39 per gallon. Now my truck's mile per gallon, I don't know exact, but it should be right around 10. You can figure this out by the more you drive. I just put 10 for easy numbers. The next one is, how much does your truck cost per month? For me, it's $654 a month. And how much do you pay your driver per mile? Now, this setting is very important, okay? Even if you drive yourself and you're your only driver, you need to consider how much you're going to pay yourself. You can't pay yourself the full amount. Okay, let me make that perfectly clear. You cannot pay yourself the full amount of load. Boom! It's going to be a big game changer for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are just like taking whatever's left after expenses and paying it to yourself. You can't do that. You're running a business. So the average starting pay for a semi-driver is 55 cents per mile. That is the average starting pay for a semi-driver. In order to be successful, I started out paying myself this just to cover my personal bills. This is how much I paid myself starting out. Some trucking companies go up to about 77 cents per mile. Now that's a really good driver rate, is 77 cents per mile. You cannot pay yourself whatever's left after expenses out of your rate con. You're a business. Think like a business, okay? Not like an individual W-2 worker, right? It's completely different. Now, my monthly insurance costs are $23.84, and that's a little high. But you know, I'm 25. I don't know if it's because it was $1,600. I don't know if it's because there's so many trucking companies coming in and they just upped it all of a sudden. But they did, man. They basically bent me over and was like, "Bam!" You know, like, take it. They went from $1,664 a month to $2,384 a month out of nowhere. I had them for like 2 months out of nowhere. Sorry if you hear my dog running. She's eating food right now and she takes it to a completely different area than her bowl. How much does your ELD cost a month? Mine, $300 a year, $25 a month. Put that in there. My factoring fee, 3%. My dispatching fee, 7%. My dispatcher charges 7% of every load, which I feel like is a fair deal. That is the most I'm willing to pay a dispatcher, is 7%. Unless they're just worth their weight in gold, I'm not paying no 10%. You shouldn't pay 10%. That is highway robbery. Highway robbery, okay? Here's the numbers based upon these formulas in this spreadsheet. And if you want this spreadsheet, go over to my Patreon, link in the description. Based upon the formula, it's calculating this individual trip's cost per mile. And every trip you would enter in these numbers, okay, before you book it, if you can. The gas price for 500 miles, and this is not including deadhead. This is not including deadhead. You can include your deadhead miles. Let's say deadhead miles included. Let's say I got a deadhead 100 miles there. Let's say it's 600 miles with deadhead. You know, the rates, it's changing, right? So let's say I pay my driver the minimum, 55 cents a mile. I feel like that's a pretty good rate. Now my daily vehicle cost is $29.73. My driver's pay is $330 because they get paid for deadhead too. If you're not paying your driver for deadhead, man, that is just, I think that's morally wrong personally. That's kind of crappy. Your daily maintenance costs, this is covering your tires, all that good stuff, is $60. So this is basically, look, B2 times 0.1, that's 10 cents. So it's basically 600 miles times 10 cents. That's $60 for your maintenance cost. You're paying this. You're paying your business that instead of paying a rental company that. You see what I'm saying? Daily insurance costs. This is how much it cost me to have insurance per day, and this is a fixed bill. Okay, this is not variable. Okay, $108.36. If I miss a load a day, you have to factor this into your next load, right? Because you're paying for this double $216. If you miss a day, you got to factor that in. ELD a day is $1.14. It's not that bad. Now, I'm not including tolls because mainly where I run, I try to avoid toll. Now, I don't have a sleeper. I factor in my hotel costs because I don't have a sleeper, so I would obviously have to stay in a hotel. Let's say the hotel cost $120. Look here. This load just went down to profit for the business, not for the driver. The driver's still going to make $330, which is me. I'm still going to make $330 from this one trip. The driver's still going to make $330 regardless. But my business profit for this one trip is $47.37. That's a $1,000 rate con with 600 miles. That's with deadhead, okay? My dispatching fee, if my dispatcher got me this load, will be $70 because it's $1,000. That's 7%. My factoring fee will be $30. So you take $100 right off the top for them. Again, it's how much of that pie are you giving to people? Now, let's say my dispatcher didn't do anything here. Okay, let's say it's 0%. Let's say I'm still going to factor it. That's still, my profit goes up a huge amount. Now, it went from $30-something, it went from $40-something to $117 profit for the business. Now, that's a lot of money. Should you maybe learn dispatching? Now, when you're first starting out, I would say get a dispatcher, but you just seen the numbers change that drastically, right? That's pretty insane, right? Now, the total cost is $882.63. That's to run this load. Now, the total cost for me to run this load is $882.63. You think you're going to make a lot of money jumping into the trucking, especially the box trucking industry? You see this number right here, right? To run this one single load. You see all these people posting these big numbers like they're making tons of money. They're making tons of money, right? Are they making tons of money? Are they going to show you this breakdown of their costs? No, they're not. Costs per mile for me for this load, $1.47. The rate per mile after deadhead, $1.67. Let's say the deadhead and everything was 500 miles, which is great. That's $2 a mile after deadhead. Great, right? $2 a mile. Still, cost per mile doesn't change, $1.57. The profit's higher. Your profit's higher because you're taking away that maintenance cost, $216. So I just went down through my costs with basically the perfect scenario of a $1,000 load with 500 miles, with like cost of diesel and everything, monthly payments. I've given you basically, this is what I would operate at. Now, if you had a sleeper, let's say you didn't have a hotel, look at that. Your business profit goes up $336. Now, that's with you paying yourself $275 because remember the miles went down to 500 and this is what the driver would be paid. You must decide how much you're going to pay yourself. And don't go out there and be like, I'm going to pay myself $1.80 a mile. You're going to fail within the first 3 months. I just want to do this video basically breaking down what cost per mile is because a lot of carriers have no idea what cost per mile is. The ones taking $250 Amazon loads definitely don't know what it is for like 100 miles because they don't understand that they have to drive that 100 miles back. Let's real quick. I just want to see the numbers. If I took a $275 load and deadhead and everything, 200 miles, I'm negative $70.28. Now tell me you're making money. Tell me you're making money. Even if you do 2 of these loads, say let's double it. Let's make numbers easy and do 500. Now again, that's going to double your miles too. You're still negative $50. Tell me again how you're making money, you guys that are running like multiple loads a day that are like $250, $275. Tell me again. Get the spreadsheet. Put your numbers in here. I want you to show me your numbers because a lot of people have commented on my videos before saying they run multiple like 2 or 3 loads a day for 200 and maybe 300 max with short distances. I haven't seen a single load. The shortest distance I might have seen it for was 75 miles with the $250 mark for like $1.80 a mile. Tell me again how you're making money. Now, your numbers will be different. Maybe your insurance is lower. Maybe you don't have a truck payment. That'll change it. But I want to see your numbers. Plug them in here. Take a screenshot. Dare you. Everybody that's posting these big numbers across YouTube, that's posting them in these Facebook groups, put in your numbers. I want to see the numbers. You won't show them. You'll say you don't have to. You don't. To me, that takes away credibility if you're not willing to be transparent in a day and time of transparency. Do what you will with that. Like and subscribe. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. I'm thinking about maybe doing a giveaway or something for 1,000 subs, because that's a huge milestone, and I appreciate it. This channel is about transparency. This channel is about being successful going into trucking. Here in the next coming months, I will be exiting the trucking business, but I will be just making my authority go inactive. And I plan on going and get my CDL. I plan on selling my box truck and going and buying a semi or driving company. I haven't decided yet if I want to do company first, because they kind of take on that risk instead of me jumping in one and maybe the tire busting, and then there I am out that capital. So I'm thinking about going and doing a semi and then for company, and then eventually buying my own and making my authority active again and going that route with reefer. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this video. If you want the spreadsheet, again, hit the link below. $5 a month. You can cancel anytime once you download the spreadsheet. Do with what you will with that. I will share this after you do that. You also have direct access to me via DMs. Be sure to hit the link, check it out. It has all my other tiers. That's where my course is going to live once I'm done with it. But for right now, it just has the tiers that are listed there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.